Hey Andrew, what's going on? I'm trying to wake up a little bit. I got up just a little bit ago. I'm pretty exhausted still. Hopefully a new wave of beta invites go out today. Hey man, how's the feeling so far? It's good, man. The game is really, really good. I'm super happy with it so far. Definitely some little bugs here and there, but nothing like crazy. Small service, how's it going? Oh, sorry. Here, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go get some water and stuff like that while I'm flying. Yeah, a new wave of invites would be nice. I agree. We need more people in the game anyways. What level did I get to? I'm level 26 right now. We should easily hit 30 today. No problem. There's some pretty streamlined quests coming up. Yeah, hopefully we can get 30 pretty fast and then we can start gearing up and doing some PvP. More and more people in the guild are maxing level 2, so more and more people are going to want to be doing dungeon runs and stuff. No, Abara, I haven't noticed any phasing. I know people were saying that there shouldn't be any phasing because the player base is so small so far on this server. That I don't think, because I know in everything they were talking phasing sizes will be around probably like 3,000 people, and there's definitely not that many people playing, so which is why they need to do more invites. They need to get more people in the beta. I'm actually super happy about how it looks so far. Only thing is hunters, which have it though. I hate these cloud serpents so much. They do a lot of damage. I heard they're going to do a stress test soon, so probably phasing then. Yeah, I assume that's what they're going to use a stress test for. And then hopefully once the stress test goes out, they allow a lot of those players who are maybe really active during the stress test to stick around and keep testing. Because I really would like there to be more people in zones and stuff. It does feel kind of empty. We ran over to wetlands yesterday to try and do some PvP, and there was actually only like 2 people that we found, so kind of a bummer. I think people have been trying to get Arena Grandmaster so far, and yeah, it should have no level requirement. I haven't heard anything about any add-ons being ported down, but I'm sure most like important add-ons that people really swear by will be available to by the time the game comes out. This is not a stress test. This is permanent beta till release. As far as I know, yeah, the people that are in the beta now have access for quite some time. I'm not sure exactly how long they'll have it run for. If you guys are watching from YouTube, make sure you click on the link in my description for my Twitch, because I'm gonna start streaming full time on Twitch instead of YouTube. So I'm just streaming on YouTube right now to get the word out, kind of. Excuse me. Has anyone figured out if Saber Deviate delights break while shape-shifting? That's literally the most important question to you. Yeah, we're going to test that as soon as we can. I know there's a few people on Horde that have the recipes, so as soon as we hit 30, we're going to start doing some of those important things. Hey, can you get decent gear for Feral PvP without raid gear? Yeah, most of your... If you want to PvP in like feral gear, you can... let's see if I can pick this up. If you want to PvP in real feral gear, most of the real feral gear is from dungeons anyways. But I have on my YouTube channel, I have a list of like best in slot gear for PvP as a feral druid for phase 1. So okay, I need to go do this quest too. Thank you for sharing. I'm thoroughly enjoying the stream. Thank you, Boston Bean Eater. Appreciate it. Are there any level 30 priests on the beta? They should get the great lift and mind control people off. Yeah. Let's see. I think there's a 26 priest. So some people making their way up there, but yeah, priests and mind control is a pretty funny thing. I love how every class has their own little like unique, interesting abilities that kind of make them stand out. Nice, thank you very much. Played a lot of mage back in the day, but the top guild, was top guild, so it was kind of easy mode. Prefer feral playstyle. Yeah, feral is definitely for someone who likes to kind of min-max and try really hard. You have to do a lot of things to set yourself up for success in a raid. That guy leashed really weird. Like he followed me further. Hi, I've never played Classic, but I can't wait to give it a go. My main is a Druid in WoW, and I am just worried that Druid might struggle in Classic. How would you rate the class? It's definitely different than retail Druid. It's hard to say. Like Druid is really strong in certain aspects of the game. You're very strong in certain roles. If you really like PvP, Druid is great for 1v1 and world PvP. And then if you like raiding, then Druid is needed in raids, but not in the quantity that other classes are. So normally a raid will only take 1 to 2 Druids. So you're not as needed, but then again, less people play the class. So. Retail Druid and Classic Druid are so different. They're like 2 different classes. Yeah, exactly. Classic Druid's all about like whittling down your opponent and winning through like attrition and survival, kind of using all of your toolkit as a Druid, whereas in the more recent versions of WoW, you're able to stay in like cat form a lot more and play more like a DPS. So it's definitely a different gameplay style. Cat can be good DPS raiding, but you have to be good and use power shifting. Yeah, cat DPS and raiding has a place, but it's not for everyone. It's a lot more hardcore, I guess, in terms of like having to prep for your raid and everything like that. Druids used to be hybrid machines. I feel like retail has separated the specs more and made form swapping less needed. Yeah, last time I played Druid was in Legion, and that's definitely the case. Best way to describe playstyle, at least PvP, is adaption play style, reactionary. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of it just comes down to trying to slowly kill your opponent, because you're definitely not going to burst down really any classes unless you vastly outgear them. So the majority of your kills are going to be dotting them up and kind of keeping yourself alive and kiting and things like that. Hope Druid is still one of the least played classes. Don't want to be the same like all others. Better to be unique. Yeah, I agree, Small Service. The big thing about Classic, I think there's going to be a lot more people that roll Druid this time around. But I think a lot of those people will re-roll. I think it seems like there's a lot of content creators that really like Druid and kind of big faces in the Classic scene, like Soda Poppin', for example. I mean, and he's always played Druid, so I think a lot of people will roll Druid because they look fun or whatever, but a lot of people will be deterred after a while, I think. I really would like to do a balanced resto spec for Battlegrounds. Is that viable? Balanced resto, like hybrid spec, will be... Yeah, I mean, it will be viable for Battlegrounds probably once you are able to get your hands on more spell power gear. But pre-mades, honestly, will probably want you being more of a heal, like more deep resto, or like a feral hybrid, because feral hybrids are really good at sitting base nodes, spinning nodes at like Arathi Basin nodes. You can also do a lot of really cool ninja capping and back capping in Alterac Valley. A lot of soloing content in Alterac Valley, so you're able to go back behind the base and solo stuff on your own. So Balanced Resto might be a little bit harder in organized PvP, like pre-mades, but it's really, really good if you just are like queuing up on your own. And it will definitely become more and more viable as the game progresses, especially once AQ comes out and you can get your hands on tier 2.5. Nice relaxing playlist. Yeah, I like this kind of music when I'm just leveling and stuff. I will say I definitely think that there will be a lot more Druid tanks this time around. Yeah, I think more and more people realize that Druid tanks can be viable. Still no beta invite, rip me and Mickey. Yeah, I don't know if they're doing any invites over the weekend though, because I'm sure a lot of the staff are not working on Saturday and Sunday at the Blizzard office. So I'm not sure if invites are like something they're monitoring or it's more like a process that's just going on. So I don't know if I would get my hopes up too much about a weekend invite. I think invites might start going out over Monday again, but who knows. Funny how they made tier 2.5 for hybrid specs. Yeah, well, I know that's what a lot of people are talking about, how it'd be cool if they made content after Nax, and one way they can do that without inflating stats and further increasing the range between like people in like really crazy gear and just hitting 60 would be coming out with new hybrid gear. So what's this, Satyr Horns? Yeah. Why female Tauren? Because they're thick. No real reason for female Tauren. Just chose to do female Tauren this time. Still up in the air on what I'll actually do in terms of classic. Might stick it out with a female Tauren though. Is the invite over email? No, I just got my invite through the BNet launcher. I never actually received an email. But I think they're sending out emails if they sent out a invite and then people aren't seeing it and they're like aren't checking their BNet, then maybe they send like a reminder email, kind of like an update. But I never got any email. Okay. Ooh, they're way easier to see. I like that. Okay, we're gonna do this, and we're also looking for Sharp Talon. Man, they have more abilities. They do like a kick and then run and try and shoot you. One thing I do like about Classic so far is a lot of mobs have quite a few more abilities that they utilize, which is really cool. It makes the mobs out in the world a little bit more challenging to kill. I can't go male Tauren. Their run animation makes me fall asleep. Yeah, they're really, really big. So everything you do feels like slower and stuff. I heard there's some issues with the male Tauren hitboxes. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just male Taurens or if it's Taurens in general, but they do seem to have a larger hitbox, which, I mean, makes sense like thematically wise, because they are bigger. So I don't really know if that's considered a bug or if that's how it was back in the day. I know that has some that has some consequences with like hunters and dead zone and people like rooting or novaing you and then moving like a short distance away, and then you randomly can still hit them. So we'll have to see what they do. But guys, he's PvPing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These mobs have a lot more abilities. They actually like are like have a little bit more of like a AI to them. Do you think Tauren racials over Night Elf racials for Druid? I think if you're wanting to min-max that hard, I think if you want to focus on PvE and you want to focus on DPSing, you really want to play Feral Druid, then I think Night Elf is the way to go. If you like PvP, I think Tauren is better. And then if you like to heal in raids, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so no Sharp Talon up here. From my experience leveling on Gummy and Netherwing, the mobs were pretty much had all these abilities. It was cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, I know that there's some fairly decently well scripted servers out there, but it'll be fun to be able to play on a server and finally feel like you're just playing the game, you know? Like private servers, you always feel like you're I don't know, not living the like full experience, you know? Yeah, I love Warstomp for PvP. It's just so awesome. Back on the grind, I see. Yeah, we're gonna hit 27 here soon, and then we're gonna go to 30. We're gonna skip all the other levels. Looks like someone has been here recently. Death Streamers. Yeah, I love that guild. Stream Slayers. I saw that Stay Safe is leveling another Warlock. That's going to be dangerous for him because he was at least outside of, like, out in front of the pack last time, but now he's probably going to have to deal with a lot more griefing and stuff. Skarm Tank get into the beta yet? No, from what I've seen, he hasn't gotten access yet. My dogs are going crazy for something. Hey, quiet. Oh, I think someone's home. I wonder what the respawn time on Sharp Talon is. I definitely can always come back and do him. Hey Sith Lord, how's it going, man? Yeah, we got Tips out and Tired, not Tired, Fried. We got him and Tips out their Whirlwind Axe the other day. It was pretty crazy. Ah, here he is. Okay, how are we going to play this? He's probably going to resist a lot of stuff. Let's see. Hey, no resist that time. We might have to just play this slower and kite him. Is he supposed to be a rare elite? No, he's just a quest mob, so he's not rare or anything. He has a really cool what am I trying to say? A cool look. Don't know if they've ever used that model again in the game. Okay. Okay. We might just die. He's probably gonna break that root right away, yep. How are we gonna play this? Because he's resisting all my roots. I think I'm gonna just try and have to burst him down, actually. Maybe we can get him, maybe we can kite him far enough that he, no. You can't tame him, right? No. Kite to the NPC? Yeah, I don't know if I can get him that far, maybe. It's pretty far to kite him. My last run, I think I just burst him down. I think I literally just need to DPS him hard. Switch out, heal, DPS, switch out, heal. We'll get him here. We'll pre-hot drink and then go. Well, actually, pooled energy is better than pre-hotting. We can kind of kite him too in cat form. So that's what we'll do. No, he has fast movement speed. Okay, he resisted. He does so much damage. We might have to come back and do him later. He's gonna leash before I can. Yeah, I see. Okay, we're just gonna come back. It's not worth. By the time we spend all this time trying to kill him, we could have done a few other quests. I mean, because I know he pats almost all the way up here. If I got him up here, I probably could kite him over to this guard right here. But we'll see. When we double back around to turn in other quests that we complete, we'll kind of judge it from there. Hopefully we see some alliance so we can do some PvP. Hopefully we don't see alliance when we're doing this escort quest though. I don't really want to have to deal with that. I always thought this was one of the most fun lower level quests in the game. Like back in Classic when I first did this quest, I thought it was so cool. Good luck and thanks for the chill streams. Hope you find lots of bugs to report. I'm going to go to bed. Alright, Ebar, yeah. I will definitely keep my eyes out for bugs and make sure to report them. Tag them over to the NPC camp and they will attack it. Oh, really? That's actually smart. The undeads will kill them. When I double back around, I'll definitely try that method if I still can't kill them. And we're cruising through this quest. Oh, did you see that? This mob's shooting, we'll report this. This mob shooting blocks at us. You see that? Arrow animation is the pixel block. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay. Come on, where are they going? Help me. Help me. Useless. Okay, we have no mana really. Okay, help me guys, help me, help me. This quest seems a little like wonky in general. Where is Torek? There he is. Just when Ebar's like, I'm gonna go to bed. Hopefully you report any bugs you see, and I'm like, yeah, I'll report any bugs. I haven't really come across that many. Respect for reporting bugs. Yeah, I mean that's definitely why we're here. But to be honest, we haven't really found that many bugs. We found a few trade window bugs. We found. What else did we find? There's like a few other quests that I've reported. I don't really remember, but we've reported several things at this point. Seems like group quests. Well, yeah, that's why I come back and do it at 26, because a lot of times people come into Ashenvale at 21 when they're first running in, and people will try and do that quest. So I'm like, well, I'll come back and do it later, and then I'm 26, and so you'd think I'd be able to do it. I think it would honestly, when that patrol runs in from the back at the end, I would have been totally fine if the guards helped me right away. They just I didn't get beta access yet. Yeah, Chris, I wouldn't really worry about it too much over the weekend. I don't know if they're sending out invites over the weekend just because most of the employees are probably off at Blizzard. So I'd expect waves to go out on Monday again, which is a bummer because I know a lot of people have the free time on the weekend to play. Is that the quest for Horde? Take over that base, or Alliance on the Alliance side? It's for the Alliance to take back the base or something like that. No, it's just like an assault. There's no Alliance there's not an Alliance equivalence to it. Since there's very few bugs being found, you think July release would be better. Yeah, but if there's fairly like obvious bugs like this, just in questing, that means they still have quite a bit of work to do. Because for example, we have players in the beta like Perplexity and Kron and stuff who have been, dueling and finding a lot of little bugs here and there that are much more like smaller and minute bugs, but will really affect PvP. And anyways, and yeah, that will be a bigger deal than the kind of bigger bugs that we normally see. The little small stuff that will affect gameplay a lot. Skateboarding life, how's it going, man? And you got to think that the cap is at 30, so there's another large portion of the game that we as players can't even test yet. So, I mean, I'd like the game to launch right away too, but if it launched, it probably would launch with quite a few little bugs here and there. Let's do this zone justice though. This is literally my favorite zone for Fellwood's one of your favorite zones? Yeah, I really like it too. I spend a lot of time there as a level 60 druid. Okay, let's turn it down just a little bit. This is like the only place that it would be nice to have your water form by now.
Still no beta. You don't like how they're treating it as a money grab. Yeah, I know a lot of people have commented on that. I don't think there's going to be any beta invites going out today, Paul, though, just because it's the weekend. So I'd probably just wait for Monday is probably when they start going back out. I see you didn't get water form. Such a pain in the ass quest. Yeah, I normally do it later. It's not worth the running around for how much time you spend in the water early on in the game. It's definitely nice to have later, but I kind of put it off normally. It kind of interrupts the flow of questing otherwise. Just downloaded the Twitch app because you said you're going to be switching to Twitch. Awesome, awesome, Luna. Yeah, they could invite old customers like I would resub in no time, but playing the lottery, not for me. Yeah, it's definitely like a gamble, so it's one of those things that if you do gamble with getting a sub, you can't. I wouldn't be too upset if you don't get in, because it is a gamble at the end of the day. But hopefully they, like I've said every day, hopefully they get more and more people in, because I mean, more people would benefit us all. Like, as I said, I haven't come across any alliance so far in this zone, which is kind of a bummer. Excuse me. Are you going to be running Feral at max level? I'll be leveling as Feral, but once I get to 60, I'm gonna probably be healing for the most part when I first get there. And then probably in phase 2, when I get access to more PvP gear, I probably will do a lot more just messing around as Feral. I don't like this water camera. I feel like I have a lot of issues with the camera. All the hype makes a lot of money. My account is from 05. Hey Eb, are you gonna restream on YouTube? No, after I switch over to Twitch completely, I'll just be streaming on Twitch, and then I'll put up my normal videos on YouTube, and I'll put highlights up on YouTube. But I want to keep the platform separate. So if you're on YouTube, definitely go over and follow my Twitch. Scout the gazebo. How did I not? What am I looking for? Maybe I didn't run completely underneath it. Okay, there we go. Sold my first account for 1,000. Druid was best geared. Druid on the server. Okay, now we gotta look for the bear over here, I think. I know he's pretty close to the stone talon. Okay. Alliance or Horde nearby? Hopefully Alliance. Oh, here. Ah, do you need it? Do you need? No, it doesn't look like it. Kill the named elemental, he drops the quest item. Oh, Tidris? Yeah, I forgot about him. I'll definitely go back. Good call, good call. Should at least put some streaming clips on YouTube when you're fully switch. Not the whole stream, but clips of your stream. Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. Like to put like. I'll still probably do. When there's not like a ton of content in WoW, I'll probably do my normal video releases, and then I'll probably just do stream highlights. I love this zone. Yeah, this zone is probably one of my favorites in the game, especially for horde players moving from like a really barren zone and just like a zone that really sucks in terms of like the looks to like something so nice as Ashenvale. Where'd he go? See, this camera, it like doesn't let you enter the water very well. Did he get killed? Or does he just have like a crazy patrol? Oh, there he is. Why is my mouse button not working for that? Problem is I'm rip. Yeah. Wonder how long that dude was waiting around. I mean, he probably stream sniped or something. I wish Druids had something like water for him. Yeah, in that situation it would have helped. It would have been an easy fight if I didn't have 2 mobs on me, especially Tidris does a lot of damage. Gotta love sweaty rogues who wait till you're fighting 2 mobs, lol. Well, yeah, it's kind of in their nature as a rogue, right? Gotta choose the opportune time. We'll just keep ourselves at a little bit higher HP. It's fine. If he pops back out, we can easily kill him. It's just we had 2 mobs on us. Like, did you see how low he got just for me having Moonfire on? Like, I don't know if he attacked me with lower health already or what, but Rogue would get wrecked 1v1 though. Well, yeah. I mean, at this level, Druid really beats pretty much anyone just because of their movement speed. Playing World of Warcraft on my 2007 Gateway desktop with no graphics card, integrated graphics. You and a couple others in the community have inspired me to play Druid come Classic WoW. Awesome, man. That's really good to hear. Yeah, Druid's such a fun class. Okay, we will go stealth right off the bat till we can regenerate a little bit because he's probably still here. Oh wait, no, he died. He died too. It's actually hilarious. Okay, hopefully they reset. Hopefully he wasn't able to kill and we can get the kill here. Was it worth it, Rubik's? Was it really worth it? You and me both died now. Let's use lower level water. Did I just see him? I think I saw a Tidris over here. Hey, bud. This is gonna hurt, man. I'm sorry. Hopefully you don't get attacked by anything else. Does War Stomp? How much fun is Classic WoW? It's been pretty great so far, actually. I think that guy has pretty decent gear. He was hitting me pretty hard, or that's just Rogue at low levels. I don't know. The problem is I don't really ever PvP as I level up. Just because I normally just blast up till 60. Okay, there he is. Now we can get this done. Move on to the next portion. Great. Is he immune? He should be immune to roots, right? He resisted. I think we're gonna have to run and reset. Hopefully there's not another. Man, this Nova is super annoying when I don't have mana. That's what it feels like to be another class. Not have escapes. Good lord. You gonna leash ever? Never, I guess? What the hell? Hi, what's up? You guys go out and get your nails done? Fun, fun. What? I just want to kill Tidris and leave. Let me get all these potions off my bar. I'll be playing on a central server is what I've heard from the guild. Hi, Rubik's. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Oh, you're frozen. Whatever will you do? I swear this mob is just purposely trying to ruin my day. Why does this mob always show up every time we're about to do something? What the fuck? What the fuck is this mob? Dude. Fuck Tidris. Hey, boys. Let's come back later. I don't want to die again to that dumb mob. Okay. Well, we need to go up this way. If I played another class, it'd probably be Warlock. Like as a main. I like Hunter and Mages as alts though. They're a good alt. To me, Warlocks play a lot like Druids. Yeah, it's kind of a dot and survival class in the same way that Druids are. Rather than switching forms, you switch pets. Yeah, and you have some slower heals, but then you also have like a burst heal with your health stone, which is kind of similar to NS. They definitely play somewhat similarly. Wish balance was a little bit better in PvE. I'd like to play it, but I don't know if I'll be able to go the extra 20 miles for consumables and stuff maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, balance is just kind of... Yeah, it's not worth it in PvE, I don't think. It's good in PvP, though. That's a good thing. Oh, yeah, I gotta fill that up. Come on. Some mobs, like, seem to not attack you for, like they have the closest aggro range. Yeah, but if you saw that rogue's damage compared to mine, like, I'm sure it looked like he had done a few dungeons, so he probably has some decent gear. But that's why I think in this dueling tournament, there's no way to go feral. You're just not going to be able to sit in cat form at all. I think it's going to be a resto hybrid build that will do well in the tournament. Is it good for solo queuing battlegrounds and stuff? I know world PvP it is. I watched you and Stormex both tear people up, not flag carrying. Yeah, it's definitely not like a good flag carrying build, obviously, but balance is definitely good in PvP. Excuse me. There much good feral gear at 30. Well, actually, you can if if you can do the quest, you can get your hands on some pretty good stuff in Stranglethorn Vale. In terms of like the raptor tunic, and I think there's some good gloves too. Oh, we got a lot. Okay. Man. I guess it's because we're not running away. Technically, we're running down the ramp, but that's probably why they followed us for so long. I'll just have to pull a little more carefully, I guess. I didn't realize there was like that many mobs in there. Those ads are nasty. Yeah, I think honestly, I think on private servers, I don't think that building has that many ads. I think there's like one of the protectors, and then there's the boss guy himself. And we've kind of with all these deaths, we've really ruined our played time on this level. The boss spawns ads. Huh. Well, they were just sitting in there too, so maybe someone had spawned them and they didn't despawn. I'm really stuck between Rogue and Druid. I love outplay potential, so both classes really fit. Yeah, Rogue is definitely fun. It's just a lot more cooldown dependent. Okay, can I please go up here? Stormax said there's a flag carrying talent build that's not too bad at raid healing. Is that the same one you cover in phase 2 talent video, you think? No, it would be like he's probably talking like 8, 11, and I think it's like 27. 8 will get you improved nature's grasp, natural shapeshifter, and then you get feral charge, and then you go deep into resto. That's like the flag carrying build for most people. Okay, we're not dying again because this walk was awful, so we'll just be careful. God, the smiley emote on YouTube is super creepy. Yeah, all the emotes are really weird on YouTube. Like, emotes and YouTube don't really go hand in hand. You gotta go to Twitch for that. Stormex has a really nice UI setup. Yeah, okay, so I really like Stormex videos. Like, he was one of the first druids that I watched in terms of classic. But I hate how much, like, in all his videos, he's like he has so many like texture modifications and spell modifications, and just a little too much. Like, it made watching some of his videos a little bit more challenging. Yeah, that was an easy pull. Hey, Kelso, how's it going? You ever watch Fat Cow? Yeah, Krill X or something, isn't it? He didn't. I think most of his videos were in TBC Arena with like a Frost Mage, right? It was. That's what it was. But yeah, I loved his videos. Really good. Like I said, I have and always will be obsessed with watching like PvP videos and stuff like that. So I've seen most of them. Okay, great. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. We're not gonna die, guys. We're out of here. Good lord. Look at that. Hello? Okay, thank you. Pretty sure they're not supposed to spawn like 10 treants. Yeah. We'll have to see when we get in there and clear that room. If he's actually spawning that many, I'm not gonna be able to do it. My playtime now is like a day, 4 hours. Yesterday we spent probably a total of like 4 or 5 hours helping a few people get Whirlwind Axe quests though. So we definitely slowed down there. At least you're not rolling the quests. You mean like they're not super easy? Yeah, he did a lot of arena stuff. I think he still plays retail. Yeah, I really enjoyed his videos. Yeah, Tips and Fried got their axes, and then I saw right when I woke up, I was looking at who was streaming, and I saw that Sony Digital is working on getting his axe. I don't know how far along he is now, but it's gonna be big for the dueling tournament. I mean, like as a warrior, it's pretty much necessary, which is a bummer because you pretty much need a full group to even come close to completing that. $30 Twinks Pog. Yeah, I know. It's fun how there's like little metas that come out of these both the classic demo with that 19 dueling tournament, and then now like I hope if they do a level cap again to say maybe like 40 or something, people we have even more dueling tournaments because it's kind of fun going through and doing that. Are you competing in the dueling tournament? Yeah, I mean, as long as I can gear up fast enough, I'm definitely going to compete. Priest will have the upper hand in the duel. Locks as well. You think so? I think Locks are gonna have a hard time. I think Priest might do well just because of sustain, but I think Rogues are gonna be fairly good. Okay, I don't really know how we're gonna play this. They took forever to leash last time, so we'll have to see. Come on, run back. Look at this. Look at all those tree ants. Like, this is actually ridiculous. Alright, I'm probably just gonna leave. I'll report it, I guess. This is insane. Okay. What are we doing now? We're going back. Gotta do satyrs after this. Shamans can be strong at 30. Yeah, they also can get an insane shield that I had on my 29. I had a 29 twink shaman. He's now like level 31 or something, but yeah, you can get a really really good shield from a quest in Scarlet Monastery Library. And it's really insane. It's super good. So they could get that, and they can get that, and they can get the dagger from SM Graveyard, which is the Turing poker or whatever. No, the torturing poker, right? That's what it's called, I think. And it has a really fast attack speed, and it's really good with like fiery weapon on it. Or I mean flame, whatever the shaman's fire enchantment is. Torturing poker, yeah. Used to rock that on a 2004 29 twink for ambush. Yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be some pretty good options. I'm surprised we haven't seen more people in like Scarlet Monastery. Maybe it's not working, or people want to get geared up a little bit more, but it seems like SM Graveyard would be like the way to go. I think there's some decent caster stuff in there too, right? Maybe not. I have to look at all the loot tables and kind of come up with a list of gear that I want to attempt to get. When is the dueling tournament? I'm not really sure. I'm sure they're going to wait until more people can get in the beta and level up, but it also depends on how long what am I trying to say? It also depends on how long the cap at 30 lasts, because obviously they can't wait forever. I hope level 30 cap lasts for a long time. It'd be fun to see people kind of like get their quote unquote best in slot and stuff. Okay, let's try your before we go turn in these quests, let's try your kiting strat on okay, bud. I think we can actually kite him to this guard right here now that he's over here. We'll wait till he pats all the way up here. I think there's going to be one here. Yeah, let's clear this guy out of the way. This is actually perfect timing. Now hopefully we can kill this outrunner quickly. It's hard to kind of pull him back. No, bud. Oh, come on. Yeah, crap. The problem is... Problem is, I think we need to have him. We have to have him at like 50%. We have to have done 50% of the damage to get credit for the tag, I think. I think that's how it works. I don't have any mana. Oh, this might have been bad, because now... Oh, we got it, we got it, we got it. Oh, yes. She's in our way to level 30. That's actually pretty funny. Wow, we got really lucky that he was right there. The only way. Yeah, it is weird that he's such a high level. Like, even the other mobs for this quest are like, what, 28 and 26 or something? And he's 31. I mean, I think he's one of the highest mobs in this entire zone besides the demons down here. I love these quests, so they give such good XP for what you have to do. Boom. Let's see what we have. This will be better when we go down and do the satyrs. We just have to remember about that cloak, because that'll be nice for... Yeah, that... I mean, those 3 quests all together, such good XP. Okay, gotta keep that. Oh, we forgot to do... forgot to fill up our vial. Not doing those. I hate page quests. I actually don't think I've ever really done them. Ooh, that will actually be nice to hand off to someone. We got 2 patterns that are really good. This will be really nice against warlocks and priests. In terms of enchants at this level, 10 shadow resist is pretty big. Okay, Eben, just let me borrow your account already. Yeah, I wish, man. I wish I could do that. I wish I could just get more people in. I wish we all could just be playing. Yeah, my bags are getting pretty massive. I need to deal with this first aid stuff. Okay, let's do the satyrs and then... where even is... I know there's like a moonwell right in here somewhere, I think. Undead camp works as well. Yeah, if he was over there, I definitely would have tried that, Sith Lord. That's a good tip. I didn't know about that stuff. I knew about the guard, but I didn't really realize that you could use the undeads. That's pretty smart. They underestimate how many people are going to play this. I bet they think they are prepared, but they really aren't. Yeah, I mean, I was watching, even yesterday night, I was watching some videos in my bed kind of to wind down and get ready to sleep. And I was watching, like, Venruki was talking about his experience in Classic so far, and he was talking about how he was kind of one of the naysayers about Classic, but I think he's like, he might even be on now, but I know he was, he's not, but I know he was having like a ton of fun, so it's good to see even a lot of the people that are super into retail are enjoying it. If I get in, I'm going to just call in sick for work. Haven't took a sick day in 4 years. They won't know. Yeah, I probably would do the same thing. You just watched that video, I think. Yeah, it was good to hear him say that he's enjoying it. Because a lot of those players, like Sea-Doo, Venruki, Snuts, you know, some of the really well-known WoW arena players, it's good to see them enjoying the game too. Because I think Classic WoW actually has a lot of potential in terms of PvP. I'm not talking like esports or anything, but I'm just talking about enjoyment in general for PvP and kind of like content creator stuff, like the dueling tournaments and stuff like that. Your guess is 1 to 3 million if no advertising, 3 to 5 million advertising, 8 to 12 with heavy advertising. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and it'll be interesting to see how many people like stick it out. You know, like they come back and play, and they actually kind of stick around and play for a long time. But SpecY raid has come AQ 40 and Nax. I would be doing a deep resto build at that point. You have a good enough amount of mana and mana regen that you don't really need to worry about like moon glow as much. Okay. You're gonna pug Nax for sure. World PvP is the most fun PvP for me. Someone who spent 5 years of my life in MMO structured PvP. Fantram, is that Fantram from Guild Wars 2? I used to play a lot with you in the alpha of Guild Wars 2, if that's you. That's me, dog. Everyone knows me. Yeah, of course, man. Guild Wars 2 PvP is where it's at back in the day. I played with, I don't know if you remember him, I think his name was Airho or something like that. He streamed it a lot, like early on. But yeah, Guild Wars 2 was really fun PvP. After I resubbed, yeah, Airho was in Super Squad. Yeah, I had high hopes for Guild Wars 2, and it definitely delivered for me in terms of content. I just wish more people enjoyed it and like played it and stuff. Rockman, get me into the beta. I wish it was that easy, man. I did Guild Wars 2 esports for about 5 years. Now looking forward to classic WoW Druid. Yeah, I would tune into Guild Wars every once in a while, and I saw several of your streams. Yeah, Guild Wars, I really like the PvP style in Guild Wars. I think there's a lot of skill-based play in it. It's weird how some games that like you personally will really enjoy, it doesn't really resonate as much with like other people for whatever reason. Like I know a lot of the big WoW PvPers talked about they talked about like the excitement they had for Guild Wars 2 before it was released, and how they thought it was going to be really big in PvP, and then for some reason it didn't really stick with them or something. People don't know how awesome real world PvP in vanilla is without the influence of honor. Yeah. I mean, I think with vanilla coming, you're gonna have a lot of really exciting PvP moments just in world PvP and whatnot. All elementalists I know want to play Druid. I wonder why that is. Because elementalist is more like, I mean, in Guild Wars, I mean, you can do like more of a bunker and defensive builds as elementalist, but it's a lot of burst damage. Ooh, is that a ring or a belt? The ring. Actually, don't really want to use that. Spirit will help me a little bit more. Because elements also stance dances, just like Druid shifts forms. That is true. I don't have any potions on me though. I'll write down any of the macros you want me to try, and I'll definitely give them a shot. Yeah, I played Ranger was what it was called, right? The Hunter class. I played that early on in Guild Wars 2. It was because when I started playing Guild Wars 2, that was like the closest thing that sounded like a Druid to me was Ranger. And then they even came out with like the Druid subclass for that, right? After some other content releases. These mobs are actually really annoying with how many stealth mobs there are. You have to kind of be careful. Yeah, the first expansion gave it the Druid line. Was pretty cool. Check out Sony the Druid from TBC. He's my favorite as far as Druid goes back in the days. Yeah, I loved his PvP videos. I feel like Druids are at a significant disadvantage once other classes start getting tier 2 plus. It forces you to go balance kite. It seems hard to get gear since their tier gear is all healing. Yeah, you have to play a lot more defensively at that point. Like in the earlier phases of the game, if you have decent gear from dungeons and whatnot, you can do quite a bit of damage actually in like phase 1 with Druid. But as time progresses and you get more, and people get more and more geared, you'll have really good plus healing, but your other stats aren't going to be super high. So yeah, you'll have to play it more like a survival, like kind of survivalist, and whittle them down. When I was checking the beta, did you just keep checking the drop-down menu? Yeah, I would just look at the drop-down menu, and then I just eventually, one of the times that I refreshed, I just had it. Okay, run back. What? Some of the leashing is a little weird, but
do you just feel like the fun play style of the Druid outweighs the perceived disadvantage? I presume. So else you wouldn't play Druid. In other words, why Druid for you? I don't know. Druid's just really, really strong. I enjoy healers in games, but the nice thing about Druids is you can kill people actually as a healer, whereas like a priest, you kind of can if you're a disciplined priest, but like as a holy priest, if you go into any PvP situation and you're not in a group, you're pretty much screwed. Maybe you can get away from a few classes, but most classes are just going to sit on you and kill you. You don't really have any good ways to get away, and that kind of goes for a lot of the other healers too. So let's loot this guy and then just run away from the Voidwalker. In general, I think it's just more the fact that I like that Druids. You don't have any really of those frustrating moments in Classic, whereas on other classes, you might get kind of frustrated that you're constantly sitting in CC, or you're getting like kited. Like nothing feels worse than being like a rogue or a warrior and getting out kited by like a hunter, and just trying all you can do to get to him, but you can't reach him. You know. Whereas with a Druid, you never really have those issues. Can't decide between an elemental... These stealth mobs, man. Can't decide between an elemental shaman and Druid for world PvP. If you're going to play with friends and you're going to group up more often, elemental shaman's super fun. If you're going to play solo quite a bit, then I would not go... Ellie Shaman in solo PvP is a little bit harder. Druid will have a better time. Nax phase, Swiftman plus Vengeance. Yeah, you want to with phase 5 and 6, other classes are gonna have a lot of burst. So that's one thing to know. Here's my feels about damage PvP builds. Phase 1, Heart and S. Phase 2, Balance. AQ phase, good phase for anything. Yeah, I agree. AQ phase will be kind of that time you can kind of shine at anything. Probably needs NS. Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything in terms of those builds for different phases. The cool thing is Druids will kind of progress throughout Classic in terms of playstyle, so you will kind of get a variety as you go through the game. Whereas other classes, you know, one spec is still probably going to be very strong the whole way through. Issue I find with Ellie is you legit can't PvE with it, so you're constantly having to respec. Yeah, you can PvP with like a hybrid elemental spec where you're going to like partially down into resto and partially down into elemental, but yeah, there are some elemental shamans that raid after AQ 40 because you get a lot more damage from your tier 2.5, but yeah, for the most part you're still wanting to be a healer. Like your guild will want you to be a healer in raids. The problem with Feral and Nax phase is a lack of gear. Well, it's a lack of gear, but then it's also just you don't really have the burst to win in PvP fights. Like I know someone the other day was telling me, well, like you have burst if you power shift or whatever, but the thing is you're not going to really be able to power shift in PvP because people have, you know, CC or ways to escape from you, and so you can't really get away with that.
And you need to be able to consume or conserve your mana for other things than power shifting. Yeah, Mana Tide is really strong. It's hard to get away with raiding without it. Does anyone know a resource for best in slot Druid PvP gear for spell kitty spec? If you're talking about in phase 1, I have a video on my channel for phase 1 and phase 2 PvP gear. For later phases, I probably won't even make a video until later phases are closer to being launched. But there's no real like specific gear, but because PvP is a little bit more subjective than PvE, obviously. But those are good starting points. How many druids does a guild take for raids? On average, 1 to 2. More than likely, a guild will take 2, just in case one druid can't make it, or just for loot purposes. Druids get geared up very, very quickly, and if you have a druid in full tier 1 and you're still raiding Molten Core often, it feels kind of bad to just be throwing away that gear, so it's good to be able to pass it off to another druid. But yeah, that's the nice thing about druids. Druids gear up very fast if you raid with like the same guild every week. Like I think I was one of the first people to have full tier 1 on my server. There was only like a few other main tanks that had tier 1 faster, and that's just because it drops, and if you only have 2 druids in your raid, it goes to one of you. So damn, only 1 to 2. Yeah. So I think, for example, our raid composition, we're gonna have a druid tank for a lot of our raids, and we're going to have two restos, so we'll actually have 3 druids, but druid tank is definitely a very different role, so you're not even really competing for the same gear. There's a few of the tier pieces that druids want in phase 1 just because they have really high armor and stamina, but other than that, I don't really think there's much competition. Druid tank. Yeah, Skarm supposedly is tanking for our first few Molten Core runs, I think, as a druid. I think he's going to level a druid first. I hope so, at least. That would be fun. It'd be fun to get server first MC clear with a druid tank, just to kind of show everyone like druids are really good at tanking. Skarm is nutty. Yeah. He puts out really good YouTube stuff too. Like he did his consumable video that he did recently. Like I know a lot of the tricks you can do with the snowballs in classic WoW, but his little trick with the snowballs helping you not have fall damage, that's something new to me, so. How far can you clear MC with a fresh guild? Can you do everything up till Rag, or even Rag himself? Yeah, you can do all of it, as long as your guild is fairly knowledgeable. And if you have some people with a few decent pieces of gear, obviously when our guild hits the fresh server, we're going to be racing to level 60 and then hopefully get some... I'm not going to obviously go over all of our secrets, but we have some big plans for kind of streamlining gearing up in terms of having certain people and certain classes basically be dungeon running all day long, and kind of leading certain dungeon runs. So then as soon as as soon as one DPS has acquired a lot of their pre-bis from one dungeon, they will literally switch over into another group that's running the other dungeon all day, and it'll be a pretty streamlined process. So I think it will be fairly fast that Molten Core gets cleared for some of the more hardcore guilds. What PvP rank am I aiming for? 13. The only reason I would ever consider going 14 is if they had the PvP one-handed weapons in the game right off the bat, but they it doesn't sound like they'll have that, so I won't really need to go to rank 14 because sadly none of the rank 14 weapons have Druid attack power on the weapons, so you have like weapons in AQ40 and then in Nax that are actually just far superior to the PvP weapons. So rank 13 is really as far as you need to go as a Druid. Guess you just run certain key people like the tank through Blackrock Depths over and over again to get gear ASAP. Yeah, pretty much. And then you work on getting your upper Blackrock Spire key for your tank so he can open the door, and then you basically chain run that instance just over and over again. So many best in slot pieces for classes in upper Blackrock Spire that we're gonna have some people just basically living in there. Check home Discord? Okay, well. I actually don't even have Discord open at the moment. Let me open it. Yeah, I hope Skarm chooses to do Druid tanking early on as well too. It'd be fun to see. It definitely levels faster than Warriors, so that's one good thing. How do I farm as a Druid? I like AoE farming elementals for different essences. And you can AoE farm as a Druid pretty well with Barkskin and Hurricane. But yeah, it just kind of depends. Yeah, I need to set up all my macros, Rockman. I actually don't have any macros set up on this server whatsoever. Like, I don't actually think I have a single one, except I tested a few macros for some people just to make sure that they worked. But yeah, as soon as I hit 30, I have a big to-do list at 30. I need to get engineering leveled up. I need to do some dungeons to get gear. I have to set up all my action bars. Imagine carrying a flag with that macro, bro. Super broken. I never knew that was possible. Yeah. There's with the new macro system for Classic, it's gonna be awesome for Druids, especially because you have a lot of mouse over macros that will be available. So you can, you can mouse over feral charge people in bear form. You can mouse over root people. So like CCing and stuff in Battlegrounds is going to be really strong, actually. Level faster. No rush. No, we should get 30 fairly soon.
as long as I stop dying to stupid stuff. These satyr horns have a lower drop chance than I remember. I feel like I've been here for quite a while. Okay, run back. At this point, I'll just take them both on, I guess. I have War Stomp, so... Do you think Druids will be more populated on Classic than on private servers? Yeah, Glenn, I think more people are going to play Druid early on. But I think as a whole, like, I think the class will fall off a little bit as people level up. I think people have higher expectations for Druids in general. I think Druids is just like it's more of a specific playstyle. You have to be like into the class. So, and it's a little bit harder to get the hang of, I guess, but... Why don't you guys just go now? That seems like a little weird to, yeah. How many hunters are typically brought to a raid? Probably... I don't know. In some... Honestly, on some raids, you don't really need a hunter, but there are some fights where you need like tranquilizing shot to take off in rages from bosses. So I'd say like common is maybe around 4, 2 to 4 maybe, somewhere in there. I'm not like as sure on other classes. Like I know like general. But I'm not like super good on like raid comp. I just show up to raids and heal, you know? I'm never the one setting up raids. Dying is part of your stick, ain't it? Yeah, seems like it at this point. I hope people drop it. I like being a unique snowflake. Yeah, I do like the fact that Druid is so unique. And the good thing about Druid is, since there's not as many Druids, you kind of stand out more. And people will remember you a little bit more if you have, you know, some skill. Or if you tend to PvP a lot, because like you have to think there's not a huge amount of Druids, and then there's even less Druids at PvP, because a lot of Druids enjoy healing in raids and stuff, but they're more into like the PvE side of the game, so it's even more rare to find really good PvP Druids. I mean, to be honest, that's a big part of why my channel is where it's at, is just because like if I was probably playing like a mage or something like that, I wouldn't stand out as much, because there's a lot of other really good mage content creators. Whereas like with a druid, there's not a whole lot of people that play the class. So. BRD is one instance that you can stealth boss run if you go feral tank druid healer. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of those kind of cool things you can do with Druid. Like you can do tribute run farms with like a rogue in Classic WoW for gold. So this curse is really annoying. Just stuns you randomly. I get a double proc right back to back.
Asmongold took a poll on his stream about what classes people want we're gonna play. Druid was the least represented by a good bit. Okay. Well, that's good to see. There, for some reason, on the classic Reddit, there's like so many people that sound like they're gonna play Druid. I don't know why that is, but maybe it's just misrepresented or something. Which were the top warrior, mage, rogue? Yeah, I'm sure it was probably warrior and mage. Warrior and mage are almost always the most represented classes, which for warrior that's good because you really need a lot of warriors for tanking and things like that. Warriors are just kind of like a staple class in classic WoW. Hopefully no one picks Warlock and I can snag the Underworld bands for myself. Yeah, man, those sell on the auction house for so much in Classic. Not as much as Freezing bands, but still they sell for a lot. Mage 1,500, Warrior 1,400, and Warlock is third. Wow. I guess more people understand how strong warlocks are this time around in Classic. I know back in the day, warlocks were kind of underrepresented because in the early patches of WoW, they were pretty weak. They definitely got stronger with a lot of buffs over the game's progression. Though Warlock being number 3 is not good news for Druids, though. That's the class we hate to fight. You definitely have to be prepared to learn how to fight against Warlocks. Soul Link is OP though. Yeah, the thing is you see Soul Link on a lot of these private servers where you have like these instant level 60 servers or whatever where people can mess around, but to be honest, on like Northdale and other private servers where you're actually like leveling and having to farm out gold, you don't really see that many Soul Link Warlocks just because it's not super viable in PvE. So most people you come across are not actually like full PvP spec like that. That's why you collect all the tier 1 and tier 2 pieces with shadow resist and you have shadow reflector. That's how you beat Warlock. Yeah, for sure. You got to make sure you have a good shadow resist set. Okay, we're done with that. Still have to make sure we turn in or fill up this vial. So we'll go do that right now. But yeah, if you can get good shadow resist against a Warlock, it becomes a lot easier. Do you know what faction you're gonna roll on, Fantram? Are you gonna Horde or Alliance? Just run against Warlock and open PvP. They're very immobile. Yeah, that's true. If you face a Warlock and you don't have good shadow resist, or the Warlock is outgears you by a lot, that is one good thing about Druid. You can basically just run. You're going Horde, so you don't have to be forced to play a gnome and basically be useless in PvP versus 50% of the Horde undead. Yeah, well, to be honest though, like there's going to be a lot less undeads around this time because I think now the classic community understands how strong the 25% stun resist is for Orc. So you see a lot less Orc Rogue is really popular, whereas Undead Rogue used to be super popular. Orc Warlock is super popular, where Undead Warlock used to be super popular. So I think like Alliance Warlocks are actually getting kind of subtle buff just by people's understanding of how strong the 25% stun resistance is. You're going Alliance, real life friends and I are making guild. Oh, awesome, awesome. Never played Alliance till now. Trying to learn Alliance leveling paths on K3. Yeah, that definitely helps to kind of know a little bit of your route. Are you going to start making some content for Classic WoW Fantram? I think you should. I definitely liked watching a lot of your Guild Wars stuff, so. My plan is Orc Warlock, mostly because of the shoulders, can't beat the visuals. Yeah. Orcs with their armor sets look insane. I feel like Shadow Priest won't be as powerful this time around with knowledge people have with interrupts. Yeah, I mean, being locked out as a Shadow Priest is definitely pretty... Like, at least if you get locked out on Shadow as a Warlock, you have a little bit of backup cooldowns, and also you have some fire spells you can use, and also a lot of Warlocks will bait out interrupts using fire spells, so they hope that you interrupt like an Immolate or something, and then they have their full frost tree, their full shadow tree to be using, whereas... Did I just pass the Moonwell? Whereas it's a little bit harder with Shadow Priest, because if you're going to try and bait someone, you have to drop form to be throwing out a heal. Okay, I know it's somewhere around here. I'll stream it at least. I'm sure I'll make a few videos, YouTube videos, but YouTube's never been my main. Yeah. No, I mean, if you stream though, if you stream and maybe make a few PvP videos here and there, I'm sure you'll get a lot of interest, because like I said, there's not a whole lot of Druid content creators, and I know you're really a skilled MMO player, so I'm sure you'll be a good Druid. Have you killed any Alliance? Yeah, we killed a few people in Wetlands the other day, but we were like level 25 and they were 23 and 22, so it's not like it was any close fights. And then there was a rogue that attacked me earlier, and we kind of killed him, but kind of not. We died both at the same time to a mob, so... Well, thanks, man. I hope so. Yeah, for sure, man. I definitely would watch your streams. Yeah, or do a fake cast and then hope you get them. Yeah, I mean, that's the one good thing about Druids, is a lot of your cast or a lot of your abilities are instant, so you don't have to worry about getting CS'd as much, and you can bait out CS's pretty well with regrowth, because it's a fairly fast cast time. So can I see talents? Yeah, for sure. I'll actually have 1 point to use. Thank you for asking, because we just leveled. So once we hit level 30 and we're doing dungeons and we're getting ready for the dueling tournament, I'm pretty sure we're gonna go into Resto. Here, I can leave it up for a little longer. With a ton of orcs running around PvPing as Alliance is going to be terrifying post-Nax. Imagine running into a geared rogue, orc rogue, warrior, etc. that ignores your stuns and then bursts you down. Yeah, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a little rough. Horde is definitely favored for their racials in PvP. Alliance is definitely a better option for PvEers, but that's not to say that Alliance are not strong in PvP as well, because Paladins and their blessings and stuff is really good on the Alliance side. So I think it kind of... There's like a little bit of advantages and disadvantages for both factions, but kind of balances out in the end. Okay, we're done with that. Did we have anything else to turn in here? Where do we turn that? Oh, the etched vial is in Stone Talon, right? Sacred Flame. Or oh no, that's a Thunderbuff one. He's by the fire. Okay, let's go do... I don't even think we've trained yet, so let's actually go to Thunderbluff, train, and turn in that quest. You think starting engineering while leveling is a good idea? My plan is honestly skinning and herbalism, mostly because I drop skinning later for alchemy. Mostly want a PvE, a tiny bit. Oh, PvE and a tiny bit of PvP. Yeah, I mean, engineering, to be honest, is fairly inexpensive to level at 60, so I never level with it. I just pick it up at 60 and buy materials off the auction house to do it. But I mean, that's just me personally. If you're not leveling super fast, you could level engineering at your leveling speed. But if you're trying to go for try to hit 60 with any kind of quick speed, it's really hard to do a lot of those professions that require you to kind of gather a lot more materials. Who normally wins in AV, Alliance or Horde on private servers? Alliance. Yeah, Alliance has a massive advantage in AV. So when I was ranking and we were doing a lot of AV, I would just pre-made every single AV match by kind of queuing simultaneously at the same time and trying to all get into the same game. Is Feral Charge not viable for leveling? It's good to pick up while leveling if you think you're going to get attacked a lot in PvP, because it's like a good gap closer or a interrupt, and it also serves as like a root, a root against a target. But to be honest, I spend my time mainly in cat form while I level, so I don't really pick it up when I'm trying to level up fast. Why no groups? No one around to group up with? They need to invite more people into the beta, guys. That's what I'm telling you. They need to get more people in here. Let's see. We have 35 people in total. There's only a select few even in Ashenvale. Which I don't mind. We get the nerfed AV anyways. Yeah, I'm kind of sad about the nerfed AV. I really, one of the things I actually did was in AV I would actually farm a lot of gold off of picking up the different body parts of the Alliance and turning them in. I made a lot of gold that way. Paladins make Battlegrounds a little Alliance-sided in my opinion, but I still prefer the Horde for sure. Yeah, it just depends. Alliance side, you like your group composition in general is a little bit more tanky with Paladins, whereas with Elemental Shamans and things like that and Wind Fury Totem on Horde side, you really have to rely on burst. So that's a little bit of the difference between pre-mades from Alliance to Horde. The only thing I care about is not being on the side that normally loses AV. Yeah, well then Alliance is the way to go for that. And it could be server to server. If the server you roll on is just has an awful group of Alliance for some reason, or some really strong Horde players, then maybe your AVs will be a little bit closer. But in general, Alliance really wins AV all the time. Rammstein released a new album yesterday, just in time for Classic. Coincidence? Really? Did they, Ken? Is it good? I really like some of the new In Flames stuff from their new album. But yeah, all those like those artists remind me of classic WoW for sure. Because I don't really listen to that music in general, but like it's perfect PvP music. No, I haven't done any dungeons, tank or heal, Jason. So you haven't listened to it yet, to be honest. I'm gonna have to actually check that out. Let me pull it up so I don't forget. But yeah, if I see anyone at this point in my leveling process, if I see anyone doing any dungeons, I'll probably jump in. Good luck, man. Look forward to seeing you in the dueling tournament. Peace. Yeah, it was. I'm glad you stopped by. It was kind of cool to see that someone that I used to watch stream Guild Wars is looking forward to Classic just as much as I am. So I'll definitely check out your channel if you stream, man. Okay, let's see what we get. I don't think we get anything crazy at level 26. It's either 26 or 28 where we get in like some decent stuff for cat. Okay, dash, that's big. Pick up shred just in case we PvP a bit. Pick this up in case we do a dungeon. Let's get abolish poison. And say goodbye to our gold. Probably should update Wrath soon too. What is that normally bound to? 1. Yeah. Maple seed. We need to get a few maple seeds. Let's abolish poison. Maul shred. Rebirth. Wait, does he want me to... Did I turn that quest? No, I didn't turn that in. Wait. Oh, I need to go to Freedom Post. Okay. What professions am I right now? I'm just skinning and first aid, just for leveling purposes. But I need to pick up engineering, and I probably will get herbalism so I can go farm a bunch of herbs and then pass those herbs off to someone who's alchemy in the guild, and they can make a bunch of potions for me. Because I'll need a lot of mana potions for this dueling tournament, and also just running dungeons will be nice to have. Okay, what do I need to do? Do druids even need first aid? It definitely comes in handy when you're like in like longer fights. Just ways to heal yourself up without utilizing mana. If you're trying to regen a little bit, it's not mandatory, but it's nice to have. Best in slot level 30 gear. Yeah, have to start working on getting that. Silk bandage. There we go. How many? Let's actually hold off on those till we can get training in. Whatchamacallit. Nicki Minaj. Okay, so actually what? Look at this flight path, guys. I wonder if I fly to Stone Talon first, if I can. I wonder if it will connect me. Should I try it or just go for it? Whatever. That's ridiculous, man. That's the dumbest flight path ever. Okay, let's turn some music back on. Vanilla jankiness? Yeah, it's so crazy. I remember, I forget what flight path it was, but I saw one on Classic WoW, the Reddit subforums, and it was like the weirdest thing, you know, it literally was, it was like I think it was maybe something around here where it was like the same kind of thing where it was like down and then like all the way up. It was ridiculous, like some really weird flight paths. 3 different stops. Yeah, not ideal. The layers are merging. Looks like a lot of people got disconnected for some reason. 460 guild members. There's quite a few low-level people. I wonder if some people did get invited today. Okay, I'm gonna tab out and actually look at some gear. No, I think it looks good. Do you guys just, when you go there, do they just, you just rent roller skates? They just give you some? Nice outfit, Sarah. Most of the other YouTubers are lower level, 20 to 15. Yeah, they didn't go as hard as I did. I wanted, like, as soon as I got in, I mean, I got into the beta when people were like in their 20s, and I was like, I'm gonna catch up to people. So I've just been leveling pretty hard. But man, I just want to start doing some dungeons now so I can upgrade some of this gear. I have really bad gear. Like, I have some level 10 cloth gloves. We definitely need some upgrades for sure. Did well, my son. Yeah. You get me in already, man. Yeah, like I've said, if I could get people in, I definitely would. The one poker. The one thing I do miss is having Atlas loot as an add-on, so I can just be like flying and checking out the different items I could be getting. Do you go Heart of the Wild spec at fresh 60? Yeah, I think it's a really good idea too. That way you can tank dungeons, you can heal dungeons just by switching out gear. I'll show Scarm Tank why strength is better. Wow, head. Classic. I don't really know if there's that many. I think the graveyard side of Scarlet Monastery might drop things that are a little too high. Classic dungeons. Let's see. Scarlet Monastery. Illusionary Rod is 34. I loved Atlas loot at all the loots for the classes. Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, let's go. Bye, have fun. So are we getting add-ons? Yeah, there'll be add-ons. There's already some working in the beta. But a lot of the add-ons just need some, like, a little bit of fine tuning for the classic
some of the changes in Classic. That ring's actually pretty decent. Great content, by the way. You and Scarm are my go-to druids. Looking forward to the macro guide. Yeah, for sure, Andrew. We have a lot of changes to macros, so probably late next week or the following week we'll have a macro video out, which will be pretty helpful, probably. This quest is pretty low. Ooh. Could visit some landmarks once you reach Cap, Grom's Cave, and such. Yeah, once we get level cap, we'll definitely be running around a bit. Ooh, a level 18 hunter. Guys, I don't think we can take a level 18 hunter as a druid. I've heard that level 17 hunters kill level 26 druids, so I'm sure level 18 hunter would kill a level 27 druid. I'm a purist and I never use add-ons or macros with very small exceptions. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really, really nice macros. In today's setting, most hardcore guilds are probably going to require, as a raider, will require guildies to run a certain few add-ons. You're pretty sure that orc ran to gank the hunter? Yeah, probably. Saw S-Van today with recount, so there's already a few. Yeah, I know Tips Out the other day was streaming and he had a enemy cast bar add-on, so I heard that there's a lot of add-ons being listed in his Discord, so definitely a few. Oh, I need to do something. Jeez. I was just like waiting for the Nagas to start coming. Thanks for the heads up, Rooster. Just sitting here like an idiot. Is this quest itself? Okay, good. It's... Need to abandon that. So this is at least not a gray quest to us. Jeez, that end bit of damage he did was crazy. Got a huge crit on me. Is this quest? I'm pretty sure doesn't it turn in Splinter Tree? Oh no, it's there. Okay, so this, and then we're gonna go kill the furbolgs. Hopefully we find some PvP right in here. That will be ideal, especially because we're probably higher level than most people, so some fun to be had. Trust me, back in vanilla, not having curse mods as a tank was so unheard of. Had to prove myself in order to not have to install them. Yeah. There's some add-ons in Classic that are just really, really nice to have. Like, for example, a lot of guilds will... It's not even like a performance thing. A lot of guilds will just require you to have like a... Like Tinspect is one that was used, which is just allows people to inspect your talent points. So you don't have people showing up to raid in like a really weird PvP build when the guild specifically asked them to come as like a healer or something. Dash for the win, yeah. Yeah, I need to get aquatic farm. I just haven't like prioritized it. I have the quest partially done, so as you can see, it's right here. I just need to collect the different portions. I just haven't been to Silver Pine at all, so I need to go do that later. Ooh, the weather, guys. It throws me off how like every time you enter an area, it's like the name, the location comes up in white. Like on PvP servers, I'm used to that coming up in, you know, if you're in a contested zone, it's yellow. If you're in a hostile, like unfriendly zone, it's red. Hey, buddy. Bye, buddy. Poor paladins. Bubble. Hodge. Should have hodged. Yeah, Feral in the dueling tournament's definitely not going to be a thing. It's going to have to be a resto hybrid build. Because he's like, even for 20... I mean, he probably has decent gear, but even for 24, he's doing some pretty good damage to me. But now he's Oh no! Do we have a potion? No, we have nothing actually. Think we'll see that warlock again? The one from yesterday? Probably. Did I at least get a paladin? I don't think so. I think he survived. He bubbled and he laid on hands. Which, I mean, I out-leveled him, so it's not a big deal, but I probably should have kept myself at higher health, knowing that there could have been other people around. What level did paladins get cleanse at? Do they have cleanse? I'm sure they probably get it around their 20s. Or maybe late teens. Forgot that lay of hands doesn't share cooldown with bubble. Yeah, I mean, he used like huge cooldowns there, but We probably honestly should go back and do some dungeons, like just even get some upgrades. Yeah, fluff buff. We got access. 1 hour cheat codes. Yeah, full health. Can I borrow your beta account until August 27th? I'll make sure to give it back by the 28th. I wish I could. Okay, we'll probably run into them again. Have you been playing since vanilla? Yeah, actually on my battle.net, like my account, I have like I've merged a lot of my accounts and I have like about 8 accounts all on there. So hey buddy. Watch, he goes through the same things. He bubbles, lays on hands, and then there's someone coming down the path. Paladins, just paladin things. What? How did he see me? We'll be able to kill this guy really fast. Greg. Jeez. Don't you love paladins? Okay, we should be able to get away fine here. He has no mana, so if we can get away and drink real fast. I don't think any of these guards actually protect people. Hi, Greg. Hi, Greg. Greg's dead right here. Greg is 100% dead right here. Come on, Greg, stop. There, Greg. Take it. Take that, Greg. Perception got me out. Yeah, probably did. You can run, but you can't escape. Oh, classic WoW. So good. That's interesting. They have civilian marked, but they don't have dishonorable kills in the game yet. Like, they have the honor page, but see, nothing shows up, even though I've killed some people now. So there's like little remnants, but they just aren't in the game yet. I've been too strong. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I just killed a level 20 and a 21. It's not that impressive. We're definitely gonna go Resto. This won't work in the dueling tournament. Just way too weak. we'll probably spend almost no time besides the opener in cat form. Also, almost 300 mana to shift. That's a bit much. Doesn't matter if they're low level or not. Killing Alliance is winning. That's true. That's true. When is the dueling tournament? I'm not sure yet. I don't think they've announced anything because so many people still haven't gotten in. Like, I think they're waiting for more people to get invites, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be like, I mean, unless they do like a few, I don't think it's going to be like too soon. I figure it'll be a little bit. You know, to draw in a duel and Pally uses land hands twice. Yeah. Pretty sure I'll be playing a Horde Rogue. Only question is whether to roll Undead or Orc. Orc is better for sure. Orc is way, way better. The stun resist is so, so huge. So that's my opinion. Like, for example, like, yeah, you have a little bit tougher time against Warlocks, but Warlocks in general for a Rogue is a fairly good matchup in the Rogue's favor, so Orc is really good. What server am I playing, Dan? This is the classic WoW beta. So travel form is 30, yeah. So Druid PvP is going to become amazing at 30. Realize since you kill those guys, they're probably gonna go on the subreddit and post something about feral druids seem too strong. Yeah, I guess there was an Alliance druid camping people in Stone Town the other day and people were getting pretty pissed. Zug zug. How's it going, Laka? You gotta, but I think in general, Laka, if you go Orc, it's just gonna be a better time. Greetings, 4 a.m. here. That's early, man. Did you just wake up or haven't slept yet? That's the real question. That Furblog totem looks dope. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice if you could get those? I was leaning towards Orc and you've settled it for me. Yeah, I mean, most of the people in the guild that are big PvPers are swearing by Orc. They're saying it's the way to go. So if you want to check out a good rogue in the beta that's playing an Orc, it's Savix and also Bobka from Home. They're streaming probably right now. Bobka's on. He's level 30. But yeah, they're definitely really good rogues. Woke up to support classic WoW streamers. Nice, nice. Yeah, that is the real question, Dan. Gamers and their sleep schedules, especially around the time of a launch of a game. Like, my sleep schedule is so messed up. I probably will fix it tonight, though. Am I worried about burning myself out before... Oh, burning myself out in the beta, like before the launch? No, I've been playing classic WoW for years and years and years. It would take a lot to burn me out. No, I'll be just as hyped for when classic launches. Never done a beta before. What happens to your character on an actual launch date? So it'll just be wiped. It'll just be deleted. So you basically have to go into a beta knowing that you're here to test. That's why we have the bug reporter. And I mean, yeah, we're lucky to be able to play the game early, but it's not. It's fleeting. It's not gonna last. What level is Ferocious Bite? I believe it's 32. No, wait. I think Pounce is 32. I don't know. Maybe 28? I'm not really sure, to be honest. I feel like it's later in the 30s, though. I don't know if we'll have it for level 30. You need to join me for an all Druid run. No other classes. Classic goes live. Have you seen? There's an old one of all priests doing Oni. Like, all priests. It's crazy. Yeah, it's 32. Just got it on Northdale. Okay, yeah. So that's what I thought. I thought it might be kind of a little later. Yeah, but man, you've been playing at least 10 hours a day since you got in. Oh, more than 10. Yeah. A lot, for sure. Like, once I hit 30 and stuff, I'll definitely slow down. Like, I'm not going to be probably playing quite as much a day. I want to see what the auction house has to offer. Hopefully, some people might have posted some good gear. Also was thinking about maybe looking at some of the... Like, before I drop skinning, like, since I have leveled up skinning, I might look and see if there's any leatherworking recipes that I could pick up and make for myself. Tarn cats are like Yu-Gi-Oh! Chimeras, the mythical beasts, or wyverns without wings. Yeah, they do kind of look like wyverns. They have the same color and like the mane and everything. That's actually pretty funny. It's probably like the same head and face model. I never thought about that. Blasphemy, you gotta play 16 hours a day from now on. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to get up and go get a snack of some sort soon because I actually woke up and logged on right away. I haven't even eaten at all today, and it's been like, I don't know. I've been what, live for 3 hours, so I probably should eat a little something. That's bad when you know you're waking up at 5 p.m. in the evening. And I only slept for like 6 hours too. Yeah, Lone Wolf. I'll try out all macros once I get done leveling and stuff. Don't worry. I have that the potion one that you've linked me. I have that written down to test. Food is for the weak. Yeah, but if it causes you to get kind of if eating helps you kind of focus up a little bit, you know, and if it at all helps your WoW play, then it's a good thing. Are people using the global chat channel? Yeah, every once in a while. I think more people, just because so many people are in like one of two guilds on the server. I think a lot of people are just using guild chat. Like the majority of people online right now are in guild chat. So I think a lot of people have just been using guild because home has just been inviting everyone. So we're able to test out like the guild features and make sure like everything's working and test the like the guild cap. We want to see how many people can be in a guild. What are the easiest levels like from X to X for Druids, Evan? I'd say like you're from 20 to like 40 is really pretty smooth as a Druid. It tapers off a little bit later in the game. Like you definitely feel that you slow down a little bit in your late 40s. Your damage starts to kind of drop off a little bit. Like your time to kill mobs kind of drags out a bit. I think my dog sees like a squirrel or something outside. Watched one of Skarm's videos and he was talking about how percent armor debuff bad for Druid, but didn't mention flat armor debuff. Is good, yeah. Shush, shush, shush. Also, are there any skills that are just game changers other than travel form? I mean, yeah, the biggest is definitely travel form. Feral Fairy Fire is really nice for pulling mobs. So you don't have to like face pull mobs anymore in cat form, which is really helpful. Like, cause right now I have to pull like by actually running close enough. Whereas when you get Fairy Fire, I could stand back here and pull, so it just kind of helps a little bit. Meanwhile, Soda Poppin is fishing. Is he fishing for Deviant Delights? Oh, he's in Orgrimmar. Why? He should be at by Wailing Caverns. You might want to report that your druid isn't doing the open animation for the chest. What do you mean? It wasn't? Do they normally do like the... Yeah, I can report that. I didn't know that they actually normally did that on this quest. Troll charm quest. Looting the troll chests. There is no loot animation for opening the chests. He's trying to catch Old Crafty. Oh, like the offhand or something? There's no animation for those in vanilla? Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was or not, so it's okay. I reported it, and if it's not, they'll just glance over it and be like, it's all good. I guess in general, it's probably better to just report it, even if you're not sure if it's a bug. I know it kind of gives them a little bit more reports to look through, but then at least it shows that people are testing things out, and they probably have like look through them pretty fast. Like as soon as they see something about troll charms, if they know it's like supposed to be in the game, they'll just probably just move on to the next. Working as intended. Why is there like a... Do you see that? There's like an invisible bear right here. Yeah, look. I don't really think that's a bug. I think that's just like a... We'll just kill it and maybe it'll reset in an appropriate spot. Weird, the hiding bear. If we had 16 debuffs prior to AQ, balance is going to be thrown out the window. No, there's they've already confirmed that it's 16 from the start. So we've known that for a long time, actually. I think they announced that back at the classic demo. Music stopped a long time ago, I guess. Yikes, I'll be honest, I've been ignoring Blizzard. Sad to see so many C-Series behind them and all their changes. I don't really think there's been that many changes, to be honest. I'm just excited to play the game, to be honest. So I've been unhappy with some things, but in general, I think overall the game's feeling really, really good. Molten Core and Blackwing Lair and stuff like that was always really easy. I don't think 16 debuff slots gonna really affect that too much. Like, it won't really matter. The only content I really care about in terms of difficulty is AQ 40 and Nax. pause the music to look up the band's new music. Oh yeah, that's right. True. Like I'm definitely in like the no changes camp, but to an extent, there's like people like overreact a little bit too much. Like I think there's some things that are just like I know people were complaining the other day about how there's a few spells that have like higher textures and a few extra frills, kind of, I guess, like soul stoning as a warlock looks a little bit like more texture to it, and people were complaining about that, and it's like not a big deal to me at all. I'm just excited to finally get to play Classic WoW on like a legitimate server, not a private server. Since I have a normal subscription, are you going to try out retail eventually? No, I don't want to play BFA. I don't have the expansion anyways. I never purchased it or played it. The only reason I'd ever like play retail is if they did a lot of massive changes that like the community really enjoyed, I guess. But yeah, I probably won't play retail anytime soon. Like, I would only go back if they came out with like a new expansion that like really changed things. Like maybe if there was like a level squish where you don't have people level like 1 million or whatever that it is now, like 110, 120 or whatever. It's like, it's getting a little ridiculous. They're bringing back resistances for retail, so they change. So classic is affecting retail. That's awesome to hear, actually. Yeah, I know that. Like, if the community, you know, really like embraces classic and it has larger numbers than modern WoW, I'm sure they'll take some notes from classic, and it'll be interesting to see how it could affect the retail scene for the next few games. The huge HP and damage numbers are stupid. Yeah, and just in general, I don't really like the playstyle now of like. Yeah, so I mean there'd have to be a lot of changes for me to enjoy retail. I just don't like the all the classes having a little bit of everything, and like for example, whenever like mages and hunters got heals, which I think in retail they still have heals, I've always thought that was so silly. Like, you have like classes that really don't make any sense that they have heals, or like all these abilities that like increase your HP and things like that. It's always like, to me, it's always should have maintained like being healer only that can do that, or maybe like some hybrid specs. funny how WoW eventually end up making all the mistakes that the original team set out not or to avoid. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I honestly think I think I know people really like TBC, but I think one of their biggest mistakes was like going for like an expansion type of feel where you're buying an expansion, because I think that puts too much on the developers to like really make like to validate buying another box copy of a game. People want like a lot of brand new things, right? Whereas like if you just keep making like patches like we saw in Classic with the launch of new raid content and things like that, it keeps the core values of the game similar. Whereas like I think expansions just like got more and more to the point where like people were expecting, you know, like, oh, every time an expansion comes out we're going to get new class abilities, every time expansions come out we're going to get new levels, we're going to get new zones. And I think there's just too much new stuff that it really changed the core of the game, and like a lot of the systems of the game got either removed or changed, and new systems got added like Titan forging and war forging and forging and this and that, and you know, all the weird stuff that the game's gone through and its lifespan. It's just kind of gotten away from WoW. TBC's only mistake is it removed a lot of the walls that vanilla had prior to people knowing about nature, fire resist needed. Yeah, I think also one thing I didn't like about TBC was like the new zones were cool, but I just think it took a lot of people away from Azeroth, and you know, moved a lot of people to Outland. So you know, I just think that, I don't know. I think like you don't need to like every expansion doesn't need to like oh, we found a new piece of land and now everyone's going to be playing on that, and then it just kind of makes all the other zones and stuff feel kind of useless. Yeah, flying was like, at least in TBC, flying was like still like people were still kind of used to the world PvP. So you had like the Nagran PvP, you had like you had Hellfire Peninsula's like PvP areas. So flying was like definitely impacted PvP, but I don't think it was felt as much until we got into Wrath.
But at least Wrath, at least you couldn't get flying till 77, so... Also, bird form was nuts. Yeah, druids have it really good with flying, especially like I played a night elf back then, and being able to, when they eventually changed shadow meld over to where it's basically like a vanish and you can use it in PvP. World PvP was so broken, being able to vanish and then instantly go into flight form to escape. Like, yeah, so stupid. Like, I mean, it was awesome, but then at the same time, it was pretty cheap, to be frank. Can you show us your talents? Yeah, for sure. The biggest mistake was forgetting the old world. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. Like, because the cool thing about Classic is, like, even when you're level 60, you're still going back to, you know, you're either going back to old zones for world bosses, you're going back to old world or to old zones to like mine or do herbalism. there's like certain mobs you need to kill for certain recipes in terms of, you know, drop rates of things. So you're always going back to a lot of different zones. Okay, sorry guys, I had someone come to the door, so I just needed to deal with that. Your favorite moment from TBC was Universal remoting the Fell Reaver? Yeah. I think the biggest problem was that it all became a matter of convenience. Nothing felt impactful or difficult. You didn't have to work for it. That kind of killed it for a while for me. Yeah, I agree. Like, I know I was watching, like I said, Venruki's video earlier today about how he feels about the beta so far. And that was one thing he was saying, like, everything just feels difficult. And yeah, Classic had that feeling, but then it just like became easier and easier throughout time. Okay, let's see. Skipping that for now. I think our next stop is back to 1,000 Needles. Oops. Hi, by the way. Kind of noob question, but at end content, is Druid a valuable class? Is it a valuable class? And if so, which spec? Yeah, it's definitely really good. Resto obviously is your best bet, but you can tank and you can DPS as well. The only thing that's really not very good as a Druid is balance. Pizza Man? No, it was someone wanting to talk to me about God or something, and I said, not right now, man, I'm playing WoW. Ended up leaving before I got an answer. Did you try speedrun, and if so, what is your time? Thanks again. Like a speedrun of Classic so far? I haven't been like speedrunning through Classic. I've kind of messed around a little bit here and there as I've leveled, but my best times for like 1 to 60 on a Druid is like a little over 5 days, but that was also on a private server, which from the looks of things on Classic, Classic's a little bit slower in general. Yeah, now while we're flying over, we see all these Alliance. Where were they when we were down there? Wow, at 11 at night? It's 9, but yeah, it is kind of late. I guess it's because it's the weekend. They come to my house all the time for some reason. I need to just put up a sign that says like, I'm good. Because like it's not about just answering the door. I have 3 dogs, so I have to like wrangle them so they don't just run out and try and say hi to them, and then I have to go to the door, and then by the time I do that and then everything, and I open it up and they're like,
hi, do you want to talk about Jesus Christ? And I'm like, not really, man. Yeah, West Coast. Do you think Tauren or Night Elf Druid is better, and why? I think Night Elf Druid, I did like a full video on my YouTube channel about this, but I think Night Elf Druid is better for like DPS as Feral, or if you're like, yeah, if you're like really into doing, if you really want to do DPS as a Feral in PvE, and then if you like healing in PvE, it really doesn't matter. Like Night Elf or Tauren will be good. And then if you really enjoy PvP, I think Tauren has a little bit of an advantage in PvP, just because War Stomp's super good, and you're not having to deal with like going against shamans, and Purge is really annoying. So that's creepy that they do that at night. Yeah, they should wear like some creepy masks or something. I've never had them come this late. Normally they come out around like 4. I did watch the video, just can't 100% remember what you said. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of what comes down with Classic WoW 2 is like you will get advantages from playing a certain spec or a certain class, blah blah blah. But like at the end of the day, like you should really play what you enjoy. So I mean, like the huge meme is Ret Paladins, right? But if you really want to play a Ret Paladin, then I mean, by all means, go for it. Like at the end of the day, you should play what you enjoy in Classic. So like if you're playing Tauren just for like the slight advantage that it might give you in PvP, but you really hate everything else about the like Taurens and the Horde and stuff, you should probably have just gone Night Elf. War Stomp is support good, but I think extra stealth is better for PvP. Yeah, I personally just love War Stomp. It saves me in PvE all the time, and it's great in PvP. Can you link me to YouTube, please? I've been told you're the bomb for Druid classic leveling. Yeah, if you look in the like below my Twitch, there should be a YouTube picture, like a picture of YouTube, and you can just click on it and it'll take you there. Good thinking. Tell those Alliance noobs to play Ret so they are much easier to gank. Yeah, and from what I've heard, Ret in the beta so far is even worse than it is on private servers. So Night Owls over Taurens because they do the flip. Of course, sorry. Yeah, no problem, man. I normally watch when I watch Twitch, I watch it in like theater mode, so like the chat's up on one side and then the video thing is like full screen, so I don't really ever look in the descriptions of people's Twitch channels either. So it's all good. They come Saturday morning here. Yeah. It's weird because like I wasn't having that issue for a really long time, and then for some reason, like more recently, they seem like they've been out like crazy trying to like get people to, I don't know. I honestly never have had a long discussion with anyone coming to the door about like religion. I don't know if I don't know what their end goal is, maybe to try and get you to join their church, but I can't imagine they have like a super high success rate, you know. I've been for Druid leveling, healing, and farming advice, Shadow for Druid Feral DPS, and Skarm for Druid tanking. Yeah, that's basically how I use it too, Mad Base. Like, I'm subscribed to both of them, and that's why really a lot of times whenever I have questions about tanking or DPS, I just like push it off to them because I kind of agree they've got it all covered on their ends. It's just Jehovah Witnesses. Yeah, I mean, well, we have a lot of Mormon, like I live in Idaho, and like Idaho, Utah, Montana, and states around there, that we have a really big Mormon population, so I get a lot of like Mormons coming to my door too. Always went for aesthetics mainly. It sucks looking at at a character you hate forever. Yeah, I definitely agree.
Okay. We are going to... I'm actually going to take a break. I'm going to go eat, and I'll probably turn the stream on in a little while. I'm really, really hungry and need to do a few things with my dogs, take them for a walk real fast. So I'll actually be back in a little bit. I'm going to host... Who am I going to host? I'm going to host Bobka. He's a rogue in our guild, and he's really good. So go check him out, and I will be back a little later, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to follow the stream, and I will be live later tonight.
For those, man.